Kyra Lee is 0-0 out of combat fitness and MMA. Don't know much about her. Shanell Butler is 1-0 out of Marquez Mixed Martial Arts. We had another competitor earlier from there, but she's also part of Daniel Gracie Fight Team out of Philly. Really anything with Gracie associated to it is going to have a certain level and verification, if you will.
Yeah, like a validation.
Yeah, validation.
Making her way to the blue corner.
It's just gritty. It's Fight City.
I was in Philly for a work conference recently. There was like 3 stabbings.
Yeah.
It's rough in Philly.
You hear some things. You don't want to get lost.
No. We saw some things.
Yeah, you saw some things.
Yeah.
And you're telling, all right, so you're specific. You've lived it.
Yeah, Philly is a rough place, man. I mean, that's why, all the fighters come from Philly, those boxing gyms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a gritty city. I would feel safer in New York City than Philly. Exactly, the home of Rocky Balboa.
The home of gritty, the mascot of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Absolutely. And Philly having a hell of a year this year with the Phillies and the Eagles
and all those Philly fans. We love our birds. They have that kind of strange Philly accent. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm a Yankee fan. I don't get down with Philly sports all that much, but Philly fighters, you have to respect.
You do.
You have to respect them.
A friend of mine was a Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader, and she used to tell me it was wild.
Was she gritty?
Yeah, she's tough. I call her Honey Badger. If she's listening right now, she may be D, Honey Badger. Absolutely. She used to talk about how they used to get snowballs thrown at them.
Oh, I bet.
From their own fans.
Oh, absolutely. That's the hometown. Listen, you know the famous story. They booed Santa Claus back in the day.
Listen, we can't say in New York they booed Aaron Judge.
Yeah, Yankee fans are ruthless.
They really are.
Ruthless. I don't agree with that. I mean, that guy, the season he had, lifetime pass. They booed Derek Jeter, too, so that's just,
Yeah, that's terrible. Boo A-Rod.
Yeah. Although that Yankee season was very, very disappointing. Not to talk baseball, but they got some big decisions on their hand. They have to give Aaron Judge whatever he wants.
Yeah, like $40 million a year forever.
Forever. That's the thing. Forever.
That's going to be a Bobby Bonilla contract. Remember that one? I think they're still paying him.
He gets $1 million every June 1st or something like that. April 1st.
I need that Bobby Bonilla money.
We're on our way. Look at this. We're growing the sport, baby.
And we would like to apologize for the folks at home talking about baseball, but there's a little bit of a lag time for our next opponent coming out.
Well, listen, I'm so jacked up. This crowd has been ready to go. We are this is our main prelim, and then we're just going to light it up with 6 more fights, including 3 more titles here on Stimulus.com.
Yes, and the first card on the main card is Mr. Nash Hilton, the gentleman who normally plays our Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner. That's why we had to have the pre-recorded one today.
So when I was here last time, and that guy, he's Jimi Hendrix.
So talented.
I was excited. As much as I enjoy hearing him play, I'm more excited to watch him fight tonight.
I love watching that man play. I really do. That's amazing talent, and I love Jimi Hendrix and just that kind of flavor that Nash has on the guitar.
If he wins, he ought to be able to bring the electric guitar into the cage after to play out. Kind of like the way Tyson Fury does that little song at the end of the night, like after he wins a fight. Tyson will sing some song.
I'm with it.
Yeah, we'll try to get that guitar in the cage here tonight. But first, though, we've got the females here, and we've talked about Shanell, and we talked about Kyra, and this is a big one at 135.
The really cool thing about women's mixed martial arts now is that they've elevated their game and just the community of female mixed martial artists to the point where the skill level has risen so much. There used to be a time when if you found one decent female fighter on a card, chances are she was in there with somebody who was not up to her caliber.
Right.
And now they have so many qualified young female athletes, that, the skill level is just amazing.
Absolutely. And they're starting much younger, too. It used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago, a mom of 2 would walk into a boxing gym for some fitness, right? Try to get in shape. Well, sure, maybe I'll turn pro. That is not the case anymore. They're starting at 13, 14, 15 years old.
My daughter has been doing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai since she's been 5.
Yep.
And she almost beat a boy up on the playground the other day.
Good for her.
Yeah, he pushed her.
Good for her. Good.
It wasn't a good idea for him.
There's adults at school. Was there any issues with it, or as long as Daddy says it's okay, it's okay?
Oh no,
right?
they always have the okay for me. I'll fight the principal. I don't care.
Good.
If you lay your hands on my daughter, I will kill you and your whole family.
What boy in school would Those boys should be warned not to mess with Will Berry's daughter.
I'll murder him. Thank God my wife is a coach, and one of her young male athletes actually stepped in and took care of it before Macy had to.
So she what did she get, chest to chest with some?
Oh my!
What?
My daughter. She plays sports with the boys.
Yep.
She does everything with the boys.
Yeah.
She competes with the boys, football, like the whole nine.
Really?
Oh yeah, she's a beast.
How old?
She's 11 now. So she's been doing martial arts for 6 years, and she's going to continue doing it.
Good for her.
It's part of our life, you know. For my birthday, she actually wrote me a really nice card and talked about how much it means to her that we do martial arts together and we do our Muay Thai together, and so it's something I'm able to share with my kids.
Is she competitive about it in terms of, you know, would she try to go next level? Maybe not do this kind of thing.
She did compete in some jiu-jitsu. She's really starting to fall in love with Muay Thai and MMA. You know, jiu-jitsu in and of itself is a very specific thing, and it's like a rabbit hole, right, to compete in. MMA and Muay Thai, you know, the grappling aspects of it are not quite the rabbit hole, and she's really finding that she really appreciates that style.
Do you think there's a piece of her at age 11, like she wants some kid in school to mess with her?
Yes.
Yeah, she wants that, right?
Yes, because, you know, she knows she's
too.
learning real techniques. She comes to these adult classes with me. She's not taking kids' classes.
Right.
I take her with me to the adult class.
Do you have to tell her, like, listen, if you do this if you do this and that, don't. It's one thing in a controlled atmosphere. You got to.
No, you know what? I come from a different time, Brian. I told her, I said, one of these days you got to kick one of these girls so they know that you can kick their ass.
Good for you. Good for you. You know. Oh yeah.
You know, I got into martial arts originally because I was bullied when I was like 15 years old. So that's what got me into martial arts, and I had to fight those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember my freshman year, they threw my lunch away because they said I was too fat, I didn't eat lunch. So by the time I was a junior, I kicked the shit out of 3 of the seniors that did it.
Yep. Everybody's got that story, that motivation. Did you ever have an opportunity to fight one of your bullies or somebody who you just didn't like in the cage? Like, did you ever have disdain for somebody that you stepped in the ring with?
No, that was just always in the street. No,
Yeah.
the cage, it was, you know, just whoever the you know, promoter wanted.
Is it easier? Have you ever tried to dislike your opponent when you got in there to make it easier?
No.
Or was it just not your style? Because some fighters will use that tactic.
They will, but again, I wasn't trying to be a pro fighter or anything like that. I was just competing against myself like, hey, can I get in here? Can I showcase my skills? You know, total combat sports, I'm only 4-4. Do you know what I mean? I'm not great. Whatever. It was more about the experience and what it gave me as a human being, you know, going through those training camps and really highlighting my weaknesses.
Well, we don't know what the delay here is because we've got one fighter already in the cage. That'll do it.
All right, the production let us know she forgot her Vaseline.
Okay. Somebody give that man a mic.
Life is always worse without Vaseline. Shanell Butler, nice and calm over there, looking like she's just ready for another day at the office.
Well, you know, I mean, she came in and she was ready to go, and she's waited about 10 minutes. She's probably dry now, and someone maybe ought to give her a little bit of Vaseline. Yeah. Well, I like this matchup here. I got to tell you, I am always compelled. You never know what you're going to get with women's MMA, and we're going to kick it up to Mike Falvo for the intros.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on down the card for Cage Wars 54, we come to our 135-pound division, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. She weighed in yesterday at 135 pounds, representing Marquez Mixed Martial Arts out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Shanell Butler. And her opponent, fighting across the cage out of the red corner. She weighed in yesterday 133 pounds, representing Combat Fitness Mixed Martial Arts out of Burlington, Vermont, Kyra Lee.
All right, we got Philly versus Burlington here.
And the man in charge of the action
That's
at
two
the sound
different
of the bell,
worlds.
Sure
Dan
is.
Mergliata.
I think this is going to be very entertaining.
I went to school in Vermont, and I'll tell you what, Burlington is much more laid back than Philly. Not saying she can't be a tough woman.
I would agree on paper. Cities look like a mismatch.
Ooh, nice job by Shanell walking her down, using that left straight.
Wow.
Kyra Lee game though, but it looks like looks like Butler's looking to set up that left hand.
There was a massive,
nice
massive
takedown.
power discrepancy here, and I don't think it'll take too long for us to see it. I mean, Butler was willing to stand in the pocket and just trade, and she's just the bigger, stronger girl here, not taking anything away from Kyra. But Kyra's got her hands full.
This is where, technique really is going to have to be used to overcome any potential strength gaps.
And there's some there's that gritty, dirty Philly stuff. I mean, it was hand in the face.
Now again, Kyra's got to be careful with those naked leg kicks.
Kyra's got to be careful too, because she could just be walking into a big
She's
left.
game though. Look at her.
Sure is.
She's not dissuaded at all. That left hand
but she's got to watch that.
That left hand is pinpoint by Butler.
And look at how Butler holds it up nice and high, right?
She does great footwork, good guard. She's using that right hand to parry the shots.
Yeah. This is a boxing pedigree, although she's...
Philly's a great boxing town. The Philly shell.
Yep.
Where it originated.
Looks like she came up a little bit gimpy.
It's my
though,
favorite
on her left
boxing
leg.
guard. Butler doing a good job keeping that distance. And she's not really checking the kicks, and I think that's more not because she can't, but because she's not really respecting Kyra's low kicks.
No, I think Kyra's going to try to, just by volume. I think she's going to try to wear down her opponent by volume, but Butler's just looking to land the big
that
shot.
left hand. Looks like her knee.
Let me tell you something. No, this is, whoa, this is all fair. This is combat sports.
No, when you have an injury like that, if you have an injury like that and they yelp, the referee can stop.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she popped a ligament or something.
But Dan waved it off, and she argued with him.
'cause she's a fighter.
Nope,
she can't walk.
Wow. So
non-contact injuries like that are not uncommon. It's unfortunate, but it's not uncommon.
I'm not so sure that was all non-contact.
Well, it looked like from when she landed.
But there was a moment initially where it tweaked, and I thought that was from a I thought that was from a strike. I could be wrong, but it could have been while she was backing up. I mean, let's watch. Here it is. I don't know production. There were a couple different tweaks.
She's looking at her left leg.
Yep.
So let's see. Stepping backwards. Still not seeing anything specific here. The whole time she's doing a nice job. It could have just been a fluke kind of step. It happened recently with Calvin Qatar when he took a jump step.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, she popped the ligament. It's a non-contact injury. That's unfortunate. Here we go again. Let's watch that left leg. She steps backwards. And usually that'll happen if you plant. Oh, yep.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah, it looked
that
like
was
a
the
little
plant.
bit of a hyperextension and twist.
Yep.
And that's usually indicative of a popped ligament.
Yep.
Now,
that's unfortunate.
Little known fact, women are actually at a higher predisposition for ACL
Torn
and
ACLs,
ligament injuries. Not a lot of folks know that. And, it's unfortunate, but we don't know if she stretched it in training too and maybe re-aggravated it in the fight. But much respect to her. She did everything she could to try to continue this fight. I don't think Kyra Lee wants to win this way, but a win is a win.
And I think that I think this outcome is probably the best thing for both of these fighters.
You're an amateur. There's no sense in doing more damage to your knee.
Absolutely.
Especially we talked about El Shaddai and how he was what I called kinetically linking his body. You produce force through the ground.
Yes.
So if you cannot place weight on the foot and create that power through the lower body, you're not going to be able to do anything. And you're not going to be able to evade. You're going to put yourself at a much higher risk for injury in general.
Well, it looks like Dan is bringing both of the fighters in.
Amazing fighters, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, at the direction of Dr. Michael Sheridan, referee Dan Mergliata has called a stop to the fight. 1 minute 54 seconds into round number 1 by way of medical stoppage for your winner, Kyra Lee.